Hello everyone. So today in this video we are going to continue from task 4 of this project 0x07, see even more pointers, arrays and strings. So this task here says we should write a function that searches a string for any of a sort of bytes. So this is the function prototype. It takes in two parameters, as you can see, pointers to characters. So the function locates the first occurrence in string s of any of the bytes in string accept. So returns a pointer to the byte in s that matches one of the byte in accept or null. So what this is going to do is simply this. This takes in two parameters, as you can see, s and what, and accept. So these are all string. So what this is going to do is it will take each character in in s here, and it will look for it in accept. Do you get it? So whenever it finds a match of that character that it is looping over, it is going to return from that character up to the end of the string. That is the character in s. Let me just give you an example of this as well. So let me create a test file. Let's just explain this on this file here. So if I say hash include, so I'm going to use string.h. I want to explain this strpbrk. It means string break. Okay, it means string something break, I think. So we are going to explain this standard function. If you understand this one, we can create our own here. So string.h, and also I need to include the stdio.h as well, stdio.h. So here I will just call my main. I will just say void. All right. So how does the strpbrk work? This is what we need to do. So let's use the same example here and let's solve this problem, and let's see how to use the strpbrk function. So if I should say asterisk here, I'm creating a pointer, sorry. So I'm creating a pointer s, and it takes in the parameter hello, the string hello world, right? So here the next pointer is what, f, and it takes in what, world, right? So it takes in world. All right, so here another pointer is created, so they call it t here. So this t here is going to hold the return value of the strpbrk function because it is going to return a string. So that's why the parameter is declared as a pointer. So t here is equals to what, strpbrk, right? So this function takes in two parameters, right? The parameter here and the other parameter here, right? So the first one is s and the second parameter is f. So what this is going to do is simply this. Let me explain it here. When you look at this, it will loop over the entire s string here, but one by one. So it will first check for h. Is h available in the f string? No, h is not available here. So it will move to the next character, e. Is e available in the f string? No, e is not available here as well, right? So it will check, is l available here in the f string? Yes, l is available. So it is going to return from that point that it finds a match that inside this f string. From this point in the f string, it will print up to the end of the string. That is what it is going to return. Do you get it? So let's try using printf with this. So if I should say printf, I'm printing string, right? So I'll just say %s /n, then I'll pass in what, t here. So let's see what this is going to return. So if I should say gcc, so -ot. All right, so let's run it. So did you see that I got llo world? So let's modify this code a bit. What if I have before the h here, or after the e, or before the e, let's say I have, let me look for one parameter that is present here. Yeah, let's say I have d here. Let me just have d here, paste d here. So when you look at this, h is not available here. So it will move to the next string d. Sorry, the next character d. Is d available here? Yes. So I'm expecting this function to return from d up to the end of the string. So it's supposed to print dello world, isn't it? I know it doesn't make sense, but I'm just trying to explain a concept. So let's see. Let's compile this. Let's run the compile file. So did you see that we got what, dello printed? So I'm just trying to give you an insight on how the strpbrk function works. Did you see that? So it's just going to search for each of the characters in f. It will look for it in each of the character in s. It will look for it in f. If it finds a match, then from that point that the character match up to the end of the string of s is going to be returned by the function. Do you get it? So this is just how the function works, and we are expected to create something like this. So let me delete this file because it is not part of what we are asked to do. So I've remove the file. So let's open this file here and let's begin working. So vi paste this. All right, so as you can see, I've already documented my Betty. So here, what do we need to do first? Let's begin to do the work here. So we know that the first thing we need to do, we need to loop over s, right? We need to loop over s. For each loop of s, we are going to loop over accept as well, trying to find a match for it, right? So what I'm going to do first, I'll just say while, let me use asterisk s is not equals to the terminating null byte. Why am I using asterisk s? I'm referencing the exact value at that same position of s. Assuming this is s here, right? Hello world. So the first asterisk s now is going to target h, this h, just the h. So if I say s plus plus, it will now target e here. If I say s plus plus, it will now target l here. So I'm dereferencing the exact value. I'm trying to target the exact value. Okay, so inside this while loop here, I need to loop over the accept now. For each iteration, I need to loop over accept. So before that, I want to create an extra variable in which it will store a copy of accept, because I don't want to tamper with the original value that accept is holding. So let me declare another pointer, and I want it to hold the value of accept. So it's going to be const. I'm naming it const. It's going to be a constant character. It's not going to change anything, right? So it doesn't matter if you leave it as char or const char, so it doesn't matter. So here I'm leaving it as a const character, and what, let me call it a here. So this, I will just say what, accept here, accept. So what I'm doing here is I'm just declaring another pointer to hold the exact characters that accept is holding, because I don't want to tamper with the original content of accept. So now a holds a copy of accept. So here I can now say while, now I need to loop over what, my accept, isn't it? So a here is what, is my accept, right? So I will now dereference it. I will say while a, this is just like targeting the exact characters in accept, right? Accept is equals to, sorry, is not equals to the terminating null byte, right? If it is not equals to terminating null byte, then what should we do here? We need to compare s with what, with a. Since, don't forget, we are looping over s first, and for each iteration of s, we need to take it through all the characters of accept to look for a match. So I need to see if whatever is at that position of s is equals to whatever is at this position of a. It means that what, a match has been found, isn't it? It means they are the same. Here I'm not supposed to use a caps, sorry, it should be small s, yeah. So here it means a match has been found. So after a match has been found, we want to return from that exact position where the match has been found. So just look at this. We have L here, we have L here. So this is the position that the match was found, right? So our function is supposed to return from this point up to the end of the string. So I'll just say return here, return, and then I'll pass in what? I'll pass in my s here, because s here is a pointer to that particular character up to the end of the string. Do you get it? It's a pointer from the character that is matched up to the end of the string. So I'll just return my s. Do you get it? So inside this while loop here, I need to increment the value of a so that it will not run into an infinite loop, right? So here as well, I need to increment the value of s, right? So I need to say s plus plus so that it will not run into what, an infinite loop as well. Do you get it? So all I'm just doing here is, the first loop here is looping over s. And for each iteration of s, we need to compare it with the characters in accept so that we look for a match, right? So that we look for a match. So this is the loop that will loop over the entire element of accept. I already created this variable to hold a copy of what, accept. So inside this loop, I need to now compare, right? The character at that particular position of s, is it the same as any of the character at that particular iteration of a, or at that particular position of a? Is it the same? If it is the same, then we found a match, right? So since we found a match, then we need to return a pointer from that particular position where the match is found up to the end of the string. So that's why I said return s here. Do you get it? That's why I said return here. So else, if nothing is found, so what do we need to do? We need to return a null, right? It says return a pointer to the byte s that matches one of the byte in accept. So this is what we did. Or null if no byte is found. So here I will just say return, I will just in bracket, I will just say null here. right? So don't forget, all my function prototypes are already in my main.h. I've stated that already right before I begin solving this task on this project, right? So this is just what the function should look like. So let's test the function. Let me run Betty for, okay, trailing white space on line 15. So set number, okay, line 15. Okay, yeah, I've seen it, so let me fix it. So let's run it again. Yeah, so Betty is fine. So let's copy the test file and let's test the function if it's working the way it's supposed to work. So vi for main.c, so paste. All right, so let's run the compilation command here. So paste, yeah, so let's run the file for, let me clear the screen. So did you see that we got LLO world, the exact output here. So this is how the function is supposed to look like. I've already explained this when I was giving you an explanation of what the strpbrk does. So I'm sure you understand what this test file does here, right? So this is how to write the function. Okay, so don't forget to add, commit and push your GitHub, and then you can run your checks. So we are going to stop here. In the next video, we are going to continue from the next task. So thank you very much till we meet in our next session.